if I meet someone that's trans, am I supposed to just have that pronoun for them straight away, or am I supposed to ask them what pronoun they prefer? Like things like that. Like because obviously
if it's in your nature, I would say if you don't care about it, that's fair enough as well. You don't have to ask if you don't want to. But like usually, if you were to use the wrong pronoun or whatever, and the person did feel the type of way about it, they might or might not correct you, or their friend might or might not correct you. It's kind of like another way to communicate how people are as beings. Like the same way that maybe like the type of music is like a way that you want to express yourself. Also, your sexuality and your gender can be other ways that you express yourself.
I'm made in the image of God.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. Freestyle session. We got Sheiva with us.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Let's go.
Now I don't even care, even if I got no hair. In the dance of lions, no, they're actually dragons. Much ones that eat custard creams, creamy dreams, sneak in a glass and breathe and still pull up. Looking like another dean, but I don't. Yeah, we got a team, but 1v1, you're going up in the dark. It's stuff I hear you, so you could get hurt. Sing with me. You could get hurt. What? You could get hurt. Hey, hey, you could get hurt. Hey, hey. I know it's hard. I know it's hard. One day we'll break out. They try to take our freedom, they try to take our peace. Never let them, don't eat none of the things that they serve us. They won't let us breathe. Yeah. I know it's hard. I know. You can get hurt!
Yeah!
You can get hurt!
Yeah!
You can get hurt!
Yeah!
You can get hurt! Hey! Hey! 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 Come on, man. The whole thing is capping right now, you know. Sorry about it. He's like,
no, we're good. You have to get used to that.
yeah, basically.
That was Trying to Be Down, and that was Sheiva.
Thank you. That was Sheiva.
Live performance, impromptu. That was hard. That's the first time I've ever been part of a rock performance, and that felt good.
Yeah.
That felt good.
You should jump in a mosh pit sometime, man.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I think about doing it, but at this point in my life, I'm too old for that.
Oh, don't. Nah, bro. I was in a mosh pit literally last week with like a bunch of 50-year-olds around me.
Don't you feel scared though? Like you're gonna like.
No, they feel scared of them own selves. You know what I mean? Like they're worried about their own selves, isn't it? Like I mean, they probably don't feel scared. I don't feel scared. Like, I don't think I think you go into it wanting to go into it and wanting to just get
fucked. Yeah, I know. But then that's what I'm saying because I know that that's what's gonna happen. I'm just like, I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes it's not as violent as you
okay.
think it is. I have seen people like break a few limbs and that and like come out bleeding. But that's probably because of like, you know, something that happened maybe like in the mosh pit, someone accidentally like hit them off. Like that does happen, but more time you're pretty safe. Like nothing like that.
Nothing crazy.
To me. Yeah.
Alright, well, I mean, like I'm not. Well, okay, maybe one day I'll get into it.
One day, maybe if you feel like it, you know what I mean? You gotta actually like want to do it, otherwise you're gonna be like, this is hell.
Yeah. And I've seen it. I've been to like Playboy party shows and Lancy shows, and I've seen the mosh pits, and it's usually like really young people in there. I sound like I'm old, but I'm only 29, so you know I'm not that old. But I feel like I've gone past that now. I mean,
no, I don't think you have.
Really?
I really don't. I feel like if you still want to do that, babes, you got your whole life ahead of you to do it. You could even do it in your 60s if you felt like it, you know what I mean? It's just the fact of when you want to do it and if you feel like it.
I want to give her this mic, just because I don't want to hold in the mic.
I don't mind, but okay.
No, because like, at some point you don't realize it, but you're taking it away from me.
Oh right, I'm not as aware as you would be. Yeah, I hear that.
Okay. But it's all good though. We can hear everyone. Yeah, we're good.
Hello, Tessa. Can you hear me?
Do you need to turn her up a little bit? I'll say turn her up a little bit. I think I'll put it like this. Just speak into there, you'll be good.
Check. Hello.
Yeah,
can
I can hear you. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, we're good.
Thank you.
Wagwan man them, Wagwan yellum. We just had an amazing performance that I really enjoyed. I got into it. You're not going to see me screaming. Yeah, go stream her music. But we're going to get to know her today. And today, guys, I'm sitting with one of the most versatile, one of the most unique artists that I found out from the underground scene in the UK. My name is Black English, and I'm kicking it with Sheiva today.
Jeez.
How are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you for having me, guys.
You are very welcome. Very, very welcome. Very welcome. So, Sheiva, when did you start making music?
When I came out the womb, I was already screaming, innit? So
that's a very good point.
We're out here, babe.
You might have even started from before you came out the womb.
Probably, you know.
But we just couldn't like record it or hear it too much.
You know what I mean? I mean, like professionally, like doing this as a thing, I would say for like 4 years.
4 years?
I think.
Oh wow.
4 or so years.
Okay, if you don't mind me asking, actually you wouldn't mind, but how old are you? Thank you.
I'm 25.
Okay. Wow. Because the reason why I'm asking is, you sound like you've gotten a lot of practice in terms of like knowing, because your music doesn't sound like it fits in one particular genre, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So knowing and being able to sort of like genre blend has to come from someone that's experienced in the game. And 4 years, I wouldn't say is too much experience, in my opinion.
Okay.
So what does all that come from? Like just constantly working, or?
I tell you what.
Yeah.
It's a thing where like I was learning how to play instruments before I was actually learning how to make music, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was learning how to play instruments from a very, very young age, like when I was in primary school. And throughout my life, I was just picking up more and more instruments as I was going along. And then when I was about like 15 or so, I started to produce music on my phone.
On your phone?
Yeah, on my phone, like when I'm like just out, or when I was like visiting family in Iran even, I would just get really bored at my grandma's house and just make music on my phone. And
how does one make music on the phone?
GarageBand, bro. GarageBand.
Or
like sometimes like just like voice recording, like just putting the phone on voice record and playing the instrument and like
live. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
And just recording like that even. And then just basically messing around with production and like making music in that from like 15 until.
What instruments did you start on? Like, what was your first instrument?
The first instrument that I started on was the first instrument that I gave up, which was the violin.
The violin?
Which I started.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
That shit look like it's hard.
It's hard. The only thing I took away from it was how to hold the bow. That was it.
That was it.
And then
that was like lesson 1. Holding the bow.
The only thing. I'm playing Jingle Bells. That was it.
That's funny.
And then my cousin had a piano at her house in Iran and just kind of taught me some Iranian music. And so then started to learn piano, and then like as I got a little bit older, like around the age of, I'll say, I don't know, like how old, like between 9 and 11, I started learning the drums and the guitar.
Oh, okay.
At the same time, and then and then because I was going to Iran like once every year, I was like, I kind of want to learn more instruments. So
why not? Right?
Why not? You know what I mean? I just love learning instruments, and then I was like, I want to learn some Iranian instruments. So then I started playing the tombak, which is like this drum. It's like a percussive instrument. Next year I picked up the...
What's it called?
The tombak.
Tombak.
Tombak. Tombak. And then learned the sitar.
Damn, how many instruments can you play? Like...
I think around about 10. I think.
Pardon?
Like
10
if I don't
instruments.
include all of the percussive instruments.
Yeah.
Because then it'll be more than 10. But like as like instruments themselves.
Damn, so you're like a musician. You're not just like, that makes sense now. Because when you told me 4 years, I was like, right, your music sounds like someone that's been making music for more than 4 years. But I guess if you kind of like started off with playing instruments, that's why there's quality in your music, as opposed to people that don't necessarily play instruments, but they've been maybe making music for like that same amount of time. Their music's not going to be on that same level because you both don't understand music in the same way. You get what I'm saying? That makes sense. All right, let's take it back to the beginning then. Wheel it all the way back. All exactly like that. So when you came out your mum's. I'll play. Shout out to Mumsy.
Shout out to Mumsy. I love you, Mum.
What was your childhood like? What was it like? You know, I mean, growing up. Did you grow up here or in Iran?
I grew up here.
What was that like growing up? What was the household like? You know what I mean?
Household was very loving, very supportive.
We like to hear that.
My parents were literally like trying to tell me that I can do everything and anything I ever wanted to. So I was just like, okay, bet I'm gonna do everything and anything that I ever want to. So
that's amazing.
I was brought up in a very, very supportive household, thankfully, and that kind of helped me with my confidence a lot as well. Being an only child as well, like there was a lot of pressure for me to like, you know, just be good and shit, and like, you know, but I'll get into a lot of trouble just because I was just naughty little you, like.
Okay.
I was so naughty. Just wouldn't listen.
Yeah, we've all been there.
Just wouldn't listen. School was difficult for me. I can't lie. I found it very, very hard to stay engaged in lessons. So, but I still would just go out and like play with my friends in the streets and that. Play football, play with guns. Climb trees and that.
Excuse me, play with guns?
Like BB guns.
Oh, okay. we have to clarify that. No, right?
Guns, man.
Because we're in the UK as well. Like,
you got. You know what I mean? So I should have clarified. I don't condone guns. I don't like guns. I hate the guns.
But BB guns are cool. They're cool.
BB guns are good in terms of like using your imagination.
For fun,
of course. Fun.
But because I didn't want the Met fucking knocking on my door like, whoa, there was one of you guests. You know what I'm saying? Just in case.
No.
So you said you went to good at school particularly, but what was your experience like being a creative kid with so much confidence and so much support from home, going through the shit education system that we've got in this country? What was that like for you?
I just made what I could of it, to be honest. Like, I started realizing that I was really into music like in primary school.
Oh, that's good.
I was like in the samba band. I even made my own band. I made my own rock band in primary school called the Rebel Kids.
That's actually a good name.
Innit?
That's actually a really good name. Because most of the time when people are like, oh, I had a band when I was like 7. Oh, we're called the Anteaters. Yeah, the Jelly Babies.
These are really good band names, though.
No, they're not.
The Anteaters.
the Anteaters. That doesn't sound like a cool, for me, anyways.
If anybody wants to call themselves the Anteaters,
go ahead. I'll support it, but you know, it's not the best. But Rebel Kids sound good. Good.
Yeah.
What was the band like?
No one really knew how to play any of the instruments.
Okay.
I had to teach them.
Oh.
I didn't know how to play the guitar at that time. This was like when I was 7 or 8 or something.
Yeah.
This was before I started learning guitar, so I didn't really know, but I was able to play dum 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 dum. You know what I mean?
Dum. Classic.
Yeah, so I taught myself how to play that song.
I hope YouTube don't demonetize us for that.
Come on, nah,
bro, trust me. They get really
if your rendition is a bit too accurate.
Yeah, they'll get you. Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm serious.
Well,
but sorry, carry on.
We're safe.
Hopefully. So you had to teach them. What instrument did you have to teach them? Like,
it was like piano, drums. Actually, my mate that was actually already able to play drums because he was playing drums in his church. Yeah. At that time, so I didn't really have to. He was teaching me, if anything.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah, just the piano and the guitar part, and yeah, I was just like, yeah, play it like this, and like, you gotta play it like this, and then just kind of like directing them on like what chords to play.
That's dope.
And then it'll just be me like singing along. Like I don't even think it was like spot on or anything. But
it was just the trying it.
The trying
enough
it
at that young.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and
in my opinion.
no one was supervising us. I was just like, can I please just like play in a music room? They were like, okay then. Weird, but alright, sure. So they just allowed it.
What school did you go to, if you don't mind me asking?
I went to Monson Primary School.
Was it?
Monson is now called Temple Grove. It's literally on Monson Road, near Coldblow Lane, near the Millwall Stadium.
Oh, okay. Okay, them sides. Okay, cool. That makes sense.
And
that makes sense.
And then I went to Asks, which is on.
I know where that is. Asks, everyone should know where Asks is. It's like very famous. So while you're in primary school, you already understand that music is something that you love. How did that fare for you? Like, what was your journey from going from like starting the band when you were that young to like, I guess, the beginning of your professional career as a musician? Did you study music along the way?
I mean, as much as I could avoid studying music, I did avoid studying music. Just because I just didn't like
the studying part.
Yeah, I just didn't like being told what to do and stuff. I mean, like, I was taught how to play the instruments, and I was taught like music theory. I studied music for GCSE, and I was like the epitome of my
music
education.
Studying. Yeah. But you didn't like any of that, is what I'm trying to ask. You didn't enjoy any of that, like even at secondary school.
Not any of it. I mean, I think it's just the institutionalized structure of having to meet a deadline having it to be a certain way and doing it a certain way. Like, there wasn't as much freedom.
And I've always kind of felt like it's weird trying to teach something that's creative, because creativity can't really be taught. Really, you can learn certain methods that are gonna make you better at being and you can learn methods that make you better at your process of being creative. But the actual creativity, like coming up with ideas, coming up with like melodies or whatever, no one can teach you that. You can, like, for example, you can teach someone how to play the correct notes on a guitar, but you can't teach them how to make a song.
Yeah.
Once they've got a guitar. You know what I'm saying?
I hear that, yeah.
So it sounds like you didn't enjoy the educational part of the music like that.
I did try it, but as much as I could avoid it, I was really trying to avoid it. I can't lie.
Enough. Did you go sixth form, A-level, college?
Sixth form.
You studied in sixth form as well, or
I didn't study music. The highest level that I got to was GCSE.
Oh, really?
Music, yeah. And grade 5 in theory, which I failed, and grade 5 in like piano and that. And that's as like institutionalized as for me, really.
As you can get, 100%.
But with A levels, I was going down the path of like maths and physics and chemistry, philosophy and things like that, like the whole other spectrum of it, basically.
Yeah, that's what.
Just because I wanted to be like, if I'm gonna study something, it has to be something that A, I can't teach myself, and B, I have to be in like a structured environment to learn it. I can't just learn it off of like YouTube, which I did try to learn physics off of YouTube at some point.
You can. Well, now you can. Maybe back then you couldn't.
I don't think you can. I tried. It was so hard.
Now you can. All them Indian brothers on YouTube. For real. Shout to you, man. You man, the root MVP. Bro, trust me. Trust me. Them niggas got me through my university days, bro.
Yeah.
Watch the YouTube 2 weeks before the exam. I watch all them.
1 night before the exam.
I'm not that. I can't do that. That's too close.
It was extreme. I was extreme procrastinator, bro.
I feel like a lot of creatives have that issue though. That procrastination type of blood inside of us.
Yeah.
I'm not as extreme as that. Like I wouldn't wait till the night before. Because if I wait till the night before, I'm just not going to the exam. Like there's no point. I'll wait till like maybe 2 weeks before, at the very most like a week before, and I start watching bare YouTube videos. I'm making notes. I'm just like, but shout out to all you Indian brothers. Like, for real.
I know.
Them niggas made me pass certain modules that I was definitely gonna fail.
Yeah,
100%. So I appreciate you, Nick.
YouTube is definitely a great tool.
Say again?
YouTube is definitely a great tool.
Absolutely. So with the physics, maths, and what else did you say you studied?
Chemistry, philosophy, yeah.
Were you like any good at all of that stuff?
No, like I was good at physics and maths to a certain extent. I wasn't that like good at the exam part of it. Hey.
I feel you. Is that the cat?
Yeah, mate.
Don't you fucking dare. There you go.
That's so cute though.
Yeah, super cute.
Hey, babe.
It's our special guest. I need to name him. Or her. I don't even know if say he or her. But just gonna crash our interview right now. Only cats are allowed to do that. And everyone's just gonna be calm with it.
Straight up on the...
Do you know what she's trying to do? She's trying to get the heat from your laptop. So just put it in front of the laptop. She'll be cool over there. But yeah, but did you enjoy studying them at least though?
I enjoyed learning them, I can't lie.
Okay.
I was so interested and invested in how the universe worked, like even from a young age. I was always like, what is this?
What's going on here?
What's going on
Why does it
here?
rain?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, why is it day and night? Just very simple stuff, like why is the sky blue and stuff like that. Like, so I was just like, I can't continue living life like,
without knowing these
without having some sort of basic understanding of where I am, because like, I feel like existing and having an existential crisis and everything like was just like getting too much for me, and I was just like, and I need to go to school. So it's just like, okay, if I need to go to school, I'm gonna have to make it worth my while.
Okay.
Yeah, basically.
Wait, so did you study philosophy at sixth form?
I studied philosophy for 1 year at sixth form and I failed it, just because I'm really bad at writing essays. Like I'm better at just answering straight up questions, like with maths, like 2 + 2 is 4. Like, I could do that. But if you got me to like write an essay about what makes a human being a person, I'm gonna struggle to get my points across and explain it and like cross-reference and things like that.
But with you questioning everything and being curious, did you find any solace in philosophy or any philosophers?
Yeah, I did. As much as they drove me insane, and as much as they didn't help at all.
Yeah.
Like I studied philosophy at uni as well.
Did you?
Yeah, like as a minor, first year. Bro, the more you know about philosophy, the more confused you become.
That's facts.
The more confused you become. Like, but I did enjoy it. I'll be honest, I did enjoy it. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
My best friend, he studied philosophy at Kik's as well, and we would just have conversations in that as well sometimes, and we would just both end up like. Like, just
not getting any closer to any answer, nothing.
Actually further away, if anything. You know what I mean?
Word.
Was there any philosophers that stood out for you?
They're all a bit nuts, I can't lie. And they're all from like the 1st century or whatever, you know.
I heard a statement, I can't remember who it's from. Someone smart, but I can't remember exactly who. And they said all philosophers are on the spectrum of insanity. And I agree. Because for you to be able to pick that out and notice and think about, oh, what's this, and what's this, and come up with all these theories, you have to have your brain in certain... Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? Because someone had to start that. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? At some point in this world, there was no such thing as studying philosophy or philosophy. Someone had to be like, hold on a minute, what makes us human beings? Do you know what I'm saying? And at that point, I'm sure this person has probably did some pretty fucked up shit before they start to ask themselves that question. Yeah. So philosophers are like insane.
Yeah.
Insane people.
Because they thought, I can't call myself insane any longer. I need to call myself something else.
Something else, yeah.
I'm a philosopher.
Exactly. The crackhead down the man. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he's a philosopher too.
Do you know what
I'm saying?
Philosophers on.
Hey man.
People can rhyme, man.
Hey, shout out to Randy, man.
Shout out Randy, man.
Alright, so what does your name mean, Sheiva?
In Farsi, it means words of kindness.
Farsi is
a language from Iran or an Iranian.
It's an Iranian language. Okay. Yeah. It means, say again, sorry.
Words of kindness.
Oh, wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And I'm guessing that's like your actual name, like name that your parents gave you.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because obviously it's also your stage name, but sometimes some people like.
I've had people ask me if they.
Yeah, you know, because you know we're here to get to know you, so you know, gotta ask all the important questions.
Gotta ask anything. Ask anything.
Of course you can. Yeah. Oh, I thought you were saying, could you ask us questions?
I mean, I'm pretty sure I can ask you guys, but I'm telling you lot can ask me anything you want to. That's what I'm trying to do.
Good. We'll plan on doing that.
Is there a reason you chose to use your real name as your like stage name, as opposed to Nam de Plume? I'm expanding my vocabulary. Don't laugh.
Nam de Plume. Is that French?
I'm not gonna lie. What does that mean?
It's what writers use. It's like an
alias.
Yeah, alias.
Okay.
You could have just said alias.
No. Nam de Plume. Ram de Plume, bro. Come on.
Alright. Ram de Plume is.
Well, I don't have a reason. No, it's just it was kind of like what's the easiest thing to be honest for myself, and I was just like very much trying to be as myself as myself as possible, as much myself as you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. We get it.
You get it. So I was just like
trying to be the truest.
The truest
of who you are. Yeah.
I was just like, Sheiva, that's just it. Like, let it just be that. Like, I could go with wooden cardboard chair, but I was just like,
that would be a bad decision. By the way, just
so I was like, let me not make a bad decision.
Yeah. I'm glad you went with Sheiva. It's a very beautiful name.
It could change in the future, though.
That's true.
Because people change their names all the time.
That's true. I mean, obviously you can do whatever you want, but I like the name. I like the name. I think it's a cool name. And then now that I even know what it means, it's even better sort of thing. So,
this cat's chilling, bro.
Super chilling. Every week, apart from last week, always here. There's actually two of them. I don't know what the other one is.
They're so cute.
Yeah. Special guests. Okay, talk me through how would you describe your sonic style? Like I've already kind of described it for you. I don't know if that was on the interview or on the podcast. I don't. But I'll repeat it if I need to.
Okay.
But how would you describe it? I want to hear from you first.
That's a difficult question for me because
that's okay.
I do so much stretching and just reaching out into different corners of my mind and my brain, and but to kind of put it in like simple terms, what do you mean? Like the feeling it gives, or like
just
like
the
genre or the sound of
because
the sound of it? I would say
it
can vary between being very abrasive and being very smooth, and from it being like fluid, like it could flow really easily in between certain sections of a song, or even flow fluently between certain genres as well.
Absolutely,
within just one song as well.
I agree.
So it's kind of like asking maybe a bird like why do you fly? And they're just like, because it's the only thing that I know I can do really and truly. So it's just like, what kind of like sounds do I like make and things like that? It's because it's like really the only thing that I know how to do. And it's not like I make the music with the preemptive I'm gonna make a
because whenever you do that never works.
You just gotta make it. Like that's a difficult question.
No, that's cool. And there's no wrong or right answer, and you answered it the way that I was expecting to answer it. To be fair,
super vaguely.
Exactly. But do you want to know? Do you want to know how? Do you know why I'm okay with that answer? Because once you're very close to something, you're not necessarily super analyzing it, and it's not a very good idea to super analyze what you do anyways, because that's when you start making shit music.
Yeah.
But do you want to know how I would describe your music?
I'm open to it. Yeah, let's hear it.
I would say your music is Sheiva's music to music in general is what Mystic was to X-Men, like shapeshifted. You didn't catch that, did you? You didn't catch that. Because for example, I could put on one of your songs and it's like the most calm, relaxed, like by the beach, soothing, sage in the air, like type shit. You get what I'm saying? Put your like meditation type, not even meditation music, but it puts you in that state of meditation almost a little bit. And then you could play another song that's like almost like heavy metal. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, and even there's some songs where it's like there's both of those elements in that same song. So that's why I feel like you shapeshift a lot, and you're able to do loads of different things, like to a good degree as well. That's what I like. I like your music, and that's why I was interested. And also, to add to that, I would say you're very versatile, of course, obviously, and the versatility in your music is impressive because most people can't do that, especially when you do that on one song. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I see your music. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome. But what would you say? Obviously your personal style is also very interesting. I like what you got on today. You want to give the plugs shout out real quick?
Shout out real quick to the Daddy Ball box. It's like a hood with the chain on it.
Okay. Oh, the chain's attached to the. Oh wow. Okay.
Made by J Dean. And these corduroy bleached that look like kind of like fiery vibes are made by Mikhail Alufa, who has a brand called Dreams of Parish.
Dreams of Parish.
Dreams of Parish. So yeah.
I will do my research. Shout out to you, my guy.
Yeah, man. So yeah.
How would you describe your personal style like?
Kind of like getting dressed in the dark.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? It's just like mix and match and like patterns and
just put it all together.
Baggy skater boy like
type vibes.
Type vibes.
Okay, I would agree with that. I concur 100%. Did you sort of like? Is this just been you just from the beginning, or did you sort of like had to find that style, like both musically and fashion-wise?
I've dressed like this, like literally since a kid. Like,
so it's just you naturally being like this?
I've been like this.
Good. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Just interested in, you know what I mean? Like, because people are going to be watching that might have those type of questions. I know it sounds very banal, but a lot of people that listen to your music, I'm interviewing from a perspective of a fan, and I only interview people that actually fuck with their music.
Yeah.
So I'll ask questions that I feel like a fan would want to ask.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Feel that.
So with your music being so versatile, I can imagine it can be very difficult sometimes in the creative process. Well, I'm only talking from my perspective. Correct me if I'm wrong, of course, because obviously, like on one song you could have some elements of hip hop, fucking R&B, and like a little bit of like some electro piano or something in there. Like, talk us through your creative process and how that comes to be, where you're able to just grab loads of different things. Like, do you go in there with? Actually, I don't even need to ask you that because you already kind of say that. You already kind of said that. You go in there not really with anything in mind.
Yeah.
How do those ideas come to you while you're? You know
I've been exposed to a lot of different music. You know, like I've been to like secondary school where like my friends would be like, yo, like, did you hear that this song just came out recently? Yeah. And I'll just be listening to like a bunch of different music just from like being a kid and that. And I feel like a lot of the time when people do like show me music and that, I like get super fixated on that artist or that genre. Yeah. So then I just start like picking out things that I really like from it and that. And cat's in madness right now. And just kind of like, I've just been accumulating all of these sounds my whole entire life, and I've taken the parts that I resonate with the most
okay.
and I've applied them basically. So it's literally from my surroundings. And
is there a genre that you find yourself going back to?
Stumped her.
That's what
Damn. I want to say a genre, but I really can't. It's super difficult because when I go out, I go to like different nights. It could be like any sort of club night, and I won't really like go out for the sake of music. I'll go out for the sake of being out, being active, and just like having a good time and that.
Okay.
When I'm listening to music, it really does change. I can't lie. That's a difficult question.
No, because I'm the same. I'm pretty much any genre, as long as I like the song. Any
doesn't matter what the genre is.
Any genre I'm here for.
Yeah, literally.
I feel like that's elite music taste, though. Like, because I feel the same way as well. Yeah. Because most of the time, I don't understand people that are like, oh, only listen to hip hop and that's it. Nothing else. I'd never listen to. It's like, how do you know that you're not gonna like it if you never listen to it? Do you get what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. So you guys have elite music taste. I know that his music taste is elite because I know him, obviously.
Is there? You said you also DJ as well, right? Mm-hmm. Is there any element of DJing that, or your music taste that helps you to DJ?
What do you mean that helps me to DJ? What, like the tracks that I'm choosing?
Yeah, like you listening to different genres. Does that help you when it comes to DJing?
I guess so, yeah, because I'm able to like provide any kind of vibe, really and truly, like or like for any occasion even. So it definitely does help just having like an open mind and just being free in like your music choices, especially when you're DJing, because you can mix songs that maybe people would never have thought
to mix together. Absolutely. Yeah.
And you're basically just creating a brand new vibe that no one thought could happen, really. So yeah, I think it does. Yeah.
So how did you go from making music to becoming a DJ?
Which one came first? Actually, no, making music came first.
Making music came first.
Because you already said that. Unless you was DJing at like 4. That would be kind of cool, though.
That would be kind of cool. There's definitely people out there that have been DJing since they were 4. That's for sure. So what was your question again?
So
how do you transition from making
to
DJ, making music to DJ?
Right. I would be out. I was at Pussy Palace one time back when I was like 19 or 20, and I was just like vibing, and I was like, yo, like this music's hard, and everyone that's DJing hard, and they were like really like pushing like new DJs and things like that, and I was like, this is amazing, and it kind of just inspired me to just start DJing. I was like, I want to start learning how to DJ, and so I just got virtual DJ on my laptop, and I just like mixing on my laptop and that. After about a couple of weeks of just
fucking around,
being a self-proclaimed DJ, I was just like, I'm a DJ now.
Yeah.
I just got my first gig, and I was just like, okay, sick. This is really hard, but it was just another instrument to learn, which I really enjoyed.
That's dope.
What specifically was hard about it? Was it the performance or?
I think the hardest part was getting to grips with the actual decks, right? Shout out Pirate Studios. Even though I hate Pirate Studios, shout out Pirate Studios.
Shout out Pirate Studios.
I was able to actually go there and practice on the actual decks, which was valuable because I was like, I've never touched this before.
Yeah.
Another hard part was to transition the song, like to make it flow really easily, and to choose what songs actually should play after what song, you know what I mean? Like the selection of it as well. I can't just go from Celine Dion to Lil Uzi Vert without having to do a mad transition, which would have to make it make sense. So it was just like, if I want to be really like experimental in this, like I need to be really experimental in the transitions as well. So that was really hard, and like even getting it to beat match and all of that without using sync and that, it was difficult. Like,
do you have like a pre-made set, or do you go off of?
It's always just off of vibes.
Yeah, I feel like DJs that have pre-made sets are the worst ones. Because if you have, I feel that 100%. Because if you have a pre-made set before you get there, then you're already assuming what the vibe's going to be like. And most of the time, vibes
you're the instructor of the vibes. You're the vibes manager, so you're setting the vibe. So like, if you go to a night and you're like, I want the vibes to be like this, then you're gonna have to practice to curate that certain vibe. But if you go somewhere and you're basing your set off of the vibes that are already there, and you're more like fluid with it, that's just another way to do it.
That's true. But the first way, because the reason why I said that is because the first way always hurts some DJs, not all, obviously. Because sometimes you might be like, okay, cool, this is the vibe that I want on that night, but the people at the club don't want that vibe that night. And now people are like, oh, that was a shit DJ. It's not really, but it's just that, you know, they're getting acquainted. But it's just that, you know, it's not the vibe. She's trying to get in your bag. It's not the vibe that they wanted that night. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So people would just be like, oh, no, this is shit, whatever. And also as well, I'm not a DJ, so for all the DJs out there, please don't kill me. I'm just giving my opinion as a consumer. Also, as well, like there's certain times where you have to step in the dance and see the type of people that are there first before you. Okay, cool. This type of crowd looks like this is what they're gonna fuck with. You get what I'm saying? I feel like that's more effective as a DJ, in my opinion. But then again, this is an opinion of someone who's never been a DJ before, so
you
take
got
it with a
to
grain
read
of
the
salt.
room to some extent.
Absolutely, I think that's important.
Yeah, I mean, like there will probably be certain nights where like, you get a variety of DJs playing different stuff, and they won't necessarily want to care about reading the room, but you will get nights where like you're literally here to read the room and to play what the people like and things like that, which is good. I'm not against that, but at the same time, you gotta just be true with yourself and play music that you genuinely like yourself. I mean, there's a lot of like commercial like pubs and clubs in Soho and that, and they just play like just
what's on the
Robbie Williams and you know what I mean? Like,
I know exactly what you're saying.
And it's just like you're literally just here for the paycheck, and that's fair enough. Like I rate the hustle and everything, but it's just like
that's whack. Yeah. So you prefer to like curate your own vibe and give it to the people, is what I'm hearing. Or do you kind of like half and half, and sometimes?
I'm really and truly, I'm half and half.
Okay.
I'm like, I want to play what I want to play, but at the same time, I will read the room and be like, okay, if people aren't really vibing with this, I will definitely
switch it up.
Yeah. And I'll do what I can to make sure that people are enjoying themselves. But another thing that I must say is that like, when I'm out, I look at the DJ.
Okay.
Because like when you're out, there's lights and that, and there's people and that, but your eyes always go back to the DJ, right? And like what the DJ's doing. And if you're seeing that the DJ's having a sick time, you're gonna be vibing it a bit more harder as well. So
that's true.
You really have to be enjoying what you're doing. You really have to be like vibing, like actually in it, like whether you're dancing or not. Like if the people feel like you're into it, they're gonna be into it. So.
Absolutely.
And if you start playing music that you're just trying to adhere to the masses, you're not gonna have a good time, and guess what? They're not gonna have a good time either.
I agree 100%. That's a good way of putting it. Actually, gives me a little bit more insight from someone that actually DJs. So let's go back to the music real quick. At what stage would you say you are in your career right now?
I want to say I'm still learning.
That's good.
I'm still catching up. I'm still catching the vibes and that. I'm still trying to build my networking. I'm still trying to learn how to mix, learn how to master. I feel like I'm really still at the beginning stages of what is to come, like what's to come is gonna be immensely like amazing for me anyways, because there's so much that I want to do, and I really don't think I'm there yet, but looking at how far I've come, I feel like I have been successful so far, so the path is only gonna be
even greater. Exactly. And I wish you good luck, obviously, and I think you're gonna achieve what you need to, as long as you put in the hard work in. You're gonna achieve what you need to achieve. 100%. So talk to me about some of the aspirations that you see in your future as well. Then, like because you said like you feel like you're at the beginning right now. What do you see for yourself in the future? Like what you kind of like envisioning that you want your career to be like? Because there's loads of different types of career in music. You get what I'm saying?
You're right.
You have anything in mind at all?
A couple things.
Okay.
One would be to just be like an artist that plays festivals, gigs, touring.
Yeah, get to the bag.
Recording in amazing studios, Abbey Road Studios, Shangri-La. Ooh. Just like having.
That's the top of the top of the top of the top.
You know what I mean? Like
right
I'm really ambitious. I'm like I just really want to make amazing music with amazing people. Basically. And I want to show this amazing music to as many people as possible. Yeah. Because I want my voice to be heard.
Yeah. And by the way, we love ambitious people over here. Just to let you know. Very much so. Yes.
Same. I love people that believe in themselves a lot.
Yes, absolutely.
And I also see myself making space for people that are in my position now, or have been in my position, or have been in my previous position as well, and kind of like being like kind of like a guiding light for people that also want to achieve their dreams of being an artist and things like that.
Okay.
In terms of being their mixing engineer, being their co-producers, in terms of mastering things for like other artists as well, and just like creating a space for people to come and use that space to create or to network or to
and just make it easier for them to grow as well.
You know what I mean? Helping other people grow would help me grow as well.
Absolutely.
So,
but you know what's crazy? Most people don't see that. Most people don't understand that.
Yeah, but that's probably because they've probably had to do a lot of work
on
to
their
get
own
to where they are.
Okay.
On their own.
Yeah.
And so then they might not see the necessity to do that for free. See what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah. I mean, I didn't assume you were going to do all of it for free.
I mean, I'm probably going to do all of it for free.
All of it, really?
Probably, yeah.
Even if a label approached you and was like, oh, we've got this new artist. Like, say, for example, you like, hypothetically, 6 years down the line, 5-6 years down the line, you're known in the industry for being the person that, like, if you got a new artist, she'll help them out and get them to a point where they're like professional.
There would be a price tag for that regardless in the industry. You know what I mean? Like,
I know, but that's what I'm saying. If a label approaches you, I'm sure you're gonna want to charge them as opposed to someone that's just like individual trying to get their music off that you want to help.
So it depends. If a label is coming to me and it's just like, we need your expertise and your help to get this artist to develop their sound more, that's fair enough. That's more of like a business endeavor, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm talking about people that are like struggling, or like people that are like having difficulties in any sort of way, not just in music but like in life as well. Like, I want to be there to kind of like show them that there's more out there that they could possibly do, and they're not just following like a pattern that they might be stuck in, basically.
Yeah, that's hard because not many people come in here, because I ask most of my questions, obviously I try to tailor it to like the person I'm interviewing, but there's some questions that I want to know just to kind of see the type of person they are. No one's ever come in here and said, oh, I aspire to help people in the future of my career. It's always been about me, sort of thing, which is understandable because a lot of creatives have to be like that for you to be successful and shit like that, so I get it. So just, that's, I guess I'm saying that to say that you're a good person, and I like that. I like good people around.
Music has helped me a lot. You know what I mean? It's gotten me out of like a lot of very horrible situations that I've put myself in or other people have put me in. And it's like, I've seen what it can do for myself. And I'm like, wow, if I was able to share this with everybody in the world, like, that would be so good. You know what I mean? Obviously, that would be difficult, but it's something that I aspire to do for sure. Like, music 100%. Really does heal.
Yeah, it really does. 100%. Like, I always say, or I always have this feeling of like, imagine if music was ever banned. Like, if the government just woke up one day and was just like, you know what? Let's get rid of all this music shit. Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna have to like join like the rebellion army or some shit. Cause you can't, like, it's impossible. You can't take away music, bro. It's too late. It's never too late. It's just I feel like music is just something that just we should have naturally, like fucking.
It's everywhere.
Inhaling. Oxygen. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's how I see music anyways, in my opinion. Even if you can't make it, just you being able to listen to it does a lot throughout the day. Imagine you had to live the same life you're living right now, but there was no music involved. Bro.
So boring.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Silence.
Bro, that's crazy. That is crazy.
Music is important, yeah.
Absolutely. What do you prefer? Studio sessions or live shows?
Another hard question. I enjoy both.
Okay.
Studio sessions are fun because you can bring people in and you have no expectations and you have no idea where the session's going to go. Yeah. Live shows, you have a little bit more structure. Okay. Whereas like, I mean, I'm still really free in my live shows, and I just let it flow the way it does.
I've seen you perform before.
Have you?
Yeah.
What, live?
Yeah, live. At the, I can't remember what it's called, but it's one of the places in Peckham Levels, and I think it wasn't you performing your songs.
It was with Theodore Black.
Yeah.
I was playing bass with him.
Yeah. You remember that New Wave magazine?
New Wave magazine.
Yeah. Yep.
That was a sick show with Vinch as well.
Yeah, Vinch, and there was someone else there as well. Bijou, yeah. Shout out to all these guys, by the way. Apart from Vinch, because, got issues.
I love Vince.
I don't. But we can move on
Each
past
to their
that.
own. There's some people that don't like me or don't like you.
That's
don't
true.
Like you. That's fair enough.
That's true. That's true.
To hell with it.
But then again, I don't know him. Let me put it out there. I don't know him very much.
That's
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. But what would you say are some of the best moments in your live shows, and some of the worst moments? Like, do you have any stories for us?
Yeah.
Ooh, let's hear it.
Shall I start with the best or worst?
Start with the best. Actually, no. Start with the worst, and then do the best.
Start with the worst. Okay.
Yeah. Let's get the negative first.
I had a gig in a backyard festival vibe in Surrey.
Yeah.
Drove me and my band down to Surrey, and we got there, and we set up, and they did a thing where like I could have my bandmates perform their own music as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, sick. So we get there, they perform their own music, and then as it was gonna happen as we were approaching the time to perform my music, we went to set up the tent for some reason because we were like camping. And we come back and then they took down the whole stage.
Oh.
And then we didn't even perform my set, but at least my bandmates got to perform. So, but that was like probably like that was like the worst.
Oh wow.
We just drove all the way down there for nothing, but I was
and
at least we had a good time. You know what I mean?
True.
Like it's the
you
journey.
should enjoyed it, but still though, like did they not give you any warning or anything? Like yo.
Nah.
Or did they try to
just
call
like
you? Nothing.
Nothing. They were just like, oh, we didn't realize or something like that, and I was just like, okay, then
really?
guys, all right.
That's a bit weird.
They felt really bad, and they did apologize, however, and they were really like.
Was that like a paid gig or?
No.
See, that's what makes it worse. Because if it was a paid gig and you got paid already, I wouldn't give a fuck.
I was even expecting them to even pay for the travel, but they didn't
even pay for travel.
No.
That's brazy. That's brazy. Alright, how about the best moments in a live show?
Best moments in a live show. It's definitely when I see people just going crazy, just like
for the song,
for the music, and just having a good time and shit. That's definitely some of the best, and like really just seeing people enjoy themselves a lot. That's probably like the best times. A particular gig that was the best, I can't think of one, to be honest. They've all been really sick. I can't think of one. Maybe at the Holborn Studios, the old CSM building. I had a residency there a couple years ago.
Okay.
And it was during like the epitome of lockdown, where like it was like tier 12 or whatever.
Oh wow.
Like this time, around this time, like 2 years ago, roughly.
And how did that work? Like with your residency, with lockdown being in effect?
I don't even told them I was bringing people over. I was just like, pull up if you're brave. Pull up if you're brave and you're bad.
Let's
pull
go.
Up, let's go.
And I bet you bare people pulled up.
Yeah, like 12 people pulled up. 12
because no one wants to be stuck in the house.
Yeah. Like, everyone was like, "This is amazing."
What?
Just in this like old abandoned building and that.
Oh shit, for real?
Well, yeah, they were trying to turn it into hotels.
Oh wow! Is it still the way it is, like an old abandoned building?
It's not really abandoned. It's very much under strict security surveillance.
Okay.
But yeah, they've turned it into hotels now. But shout out to We Exist. We Exist is a fundraising campaign which basically was helping to raise funds for trans people that are looking for like healthcare, because there's no healthcare fund in the UK. Like.
I know.
For trans people.
We're going to get into that now since you mentioned it.
Yeah.
So,
pretty peak.
While I was doing my research, I came across an article that you were featured on. I'm not going to mention the platform because obviously, like, you know, there might be a rival at some point. Actually, fuck it. ID, obviously. Shout out to ID. I love the content. I love the content. And I think it was... can't remember the name of the article, but basically...
The 5 trans artists.
Yes.
So,
you are trans.
I'm non-binary, which
You're
is
non-binary.
trans, because technically not...
Non-binary, okay. Yeah. So educate us, because it's not that we're ignorant, but we're, like you said, there's not any education on that at all.
Yeah, there really isn't.
At all. So let's start with the pronouns.
Okay.
Why is it the way it is? Because obviously you're born to like the normal pronouns of he and she. Do you get what I'm saying? And we kind of live our life through that and expecting that. So once a new concept, as human beings, every human being goes through this. Once a new concept gets introduced to society, everyone's a bit scared of it. And I wouldn't say I'm part of those people, but everyone's definitely not understanding of it. And I'll be honest to say, I am one of those people. So I'd like to clear understanding on, yeah.
Okay. Well, before I go into pronouns, I want to kind of understand, like what about it is confusing for you, because I could just start talking and then it could still be confusing for you.
That's true. What about it confusing for me is because of, how can I explain this?
Because you want to know a particular thing, right?
Yeah.
What is that particular thing?
The particular thing I want to know is that, like for example, like if I meet someone that's trans, am I supposed to just have that pronoun for them straight away, or am I supposed to ask them what pronoun they prefer? Like things like that, like because obviously if
it's in your nature, I would say if you don't care about it, that's fair enough as well. You don't have to ask if you don't want to, but like usually if you were to use the wrong pronoun or whatever, and the person did feel the type of way about it, they might or might not correct you, or their friend might or might not correct you. It's kind of like another way to communicate how people are as beings. Like the same way that maybe like the type of music is like a way that you want to express yourself. Also, your sexuality and your gender can be other ways that you express yourself. And there's different reasons for why, right? I can give you my personal reason, which I can.
You can talk about it if you feel comfortable enough, obviously.
I literally don't have any sort of idea of whether I am man or woman or just anything. I just see myself as a human being, and I know that I'm not seen as just a human being from the majority of the world.
Of course, yeah.
But I don't care. I really don't care.
So you don't necessarily care about how other people view you, but what's more important for you is how you view yourself.
It's how I feel about myself, yeah. And if I feel like I don't fit into this norm of being a woman, then I'm gonna be like, I'm not. I don't feel like I am a woman. I feel like I'm neither of them. Or like some days I do feel like a man, and it's literally just a way of existing in the world as a human being. Like I don't think
while I agree, you're right, you're absolutely right. While I agree with that though, what would you say to those people that say that, like, first of all, you're allowed to not feel like a woman or like a man. Everyone's allowed to go through that, and they will make a point that different women can express their femininity, or different men can express their masculinity in different ways. So like, for example, there's different types of women, there's different types of men. Like some people will be like, why don't you still adhere to society's like labeling or whatever, but just see yourself as a different type of woman? Because there isn't one box standard of what a woman should be or what a man should be. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, would you even care to respond to those type of people, or do you understand where I'm trying to go with this?
I'm understanding where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I just find it hard to see why people care about.
I see what you mean.
How people want to
be identified
as.
I guess it would be because they have to adhere to those rules that they don't necessarily care about adhering to. Like for example, like if you personally wouldn't care what, like for example, I've been referring to you as she, he, or whatever. I don't have that wrong, do I?
No, I don't.
You don't care
pronouns,
at all. Okay, cool. All right. But some people that relate to you, that's very important to them. Like it's like it's important for you to have the right pronouns 100%. And all that type of stuff. So I guess people from the outside world are being lazy, really and truly, when you think about it, and don't want to change the way that society has already brainwashed them to be like, okay, 100%. Cool, this and this and that and this and this. 100%. So they'll make all those arguments and shit. And while I know that things are always improving and things are always evolving, so I guess in a way, yeah, it should make sense for us to kind of like think about more ways to kind of like identify ourselves or whatever. But people like simple things, and I think that's why most
like
people are
common
ignorant.
decency, basic respect,
And I think that's why people are ignorant. But I've got another question though, just because like and all these questions is not just for me; it's also for people that might be hearing this and listening to this that might not necessarily understand the concept or agree with the concept to have some education on it, right? What would you say to those people? And by the way, when I say this, I don't believe in aliens. That's why I say those people. What would you say to those people that see the whole trans movement as just a trend?
Why do you care if it's a trend or not?
That's a good point. That's a good
Straight
point.
up, because there's so much more shit that's happening in the world. I mean, like, not to say that it's not a big topic to talk about, not to say that it's not important. It is, but just get over it.
Yeah, and also it's the saying, "What I eat don't make you shit." So
yeah.
I mean, why are you bothered about what I eat?
Yeah, literally.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Straight up.
So I guess I just want to give you like a I don't know if you don't want to, it's up to you.
No.
But since we're here, I want to give you like a little space to kind of like give us some education on some of the things that you think everyone should know, but because in society that we live in, we're not educated about things like that because
Okay.
Like for example, I didn't know that non-binary people are classified as trans people until today.
Yeah.
So that's new information for me. What other things are like that we should kind of know?
I mean, whatever I say now could be false by this time next year, because it's something that is still
being found
out,
That's
and
true.
people are still creating the language around it. People are still trying to find a way to express how they really feel, and so whatever I do say now, it might not end up being true later, or I might even start to disagree with myself.
Okay.
All I can really talk about is just my personal experience. That's
Fair
it.
enough.
I've been presenting myself as masculine my whole entire life, which basically just means that I dressed in male clothing, basically, to put it in simple terms. My whole entire life. And my parents were like, please wear pink. And I was just like, no. Straight up, no. Like, I don't want to. That's not me. It makes me uncomfortable. And then they were like, okay, we'll just wear clothes that make you feel uncomfortable. And it just so happened to just be masculine clothes and just boys'
And shout out to your parents as well for being like understanding, because I would say most parents, I'll be honest, don't understand the concept at all and don't accept the kids, and which is really sad because at the end of the day, this is how society has done a number on us, because people would literally disown their kids, a whole human being that they've created, because they have a different philosophy from them. That's crazy to me, in my opinion, anyways.
I know.
But I want to say thank you for being vulnerable enough to like answer this question, because I know like sometimes it can get a bit techie.
Yeah.
But did I do well at not being? I feel like I did well.
No, you did really well. You didn't say anything problematic.
Good.
So yeah, that's good.
But I just wanted to get some more information about that. You know what I mean?
Like, because I feel like you should always be open to learning. But
100%.
But these are also things that, like, when you're speaking to a specific person, I feel like the best way to educate yourself would just be to ask them on their experiences.
Okay.
Because that's something that you can't really go and get from the internet. You know what I mean?
100%.
For someone's personal experience.
Okay. Okay. So is there anything more about your personal experience that you'd like to share with us, or have you kind of like touched on it?
Yeah, I would say how people are treated in Iran, basically, and it really does boil down to what the government are doing, basically.
Yeah.
In terms of trying to make.
No, carry on.
Yeah, in terms of like to force people to wear the hijab.
Oh yeah, that's fucked up.
I say people because there are also people that identify as trans as well, or that are trans, sorry, that wear the hijab and
are forced to wear the hijab. Yeah.
Forced to wear the hijab, or they want to wear the hijab because it is an obligation to wear the hijab if you are a woman.
Okay.
And I feel like I've been brought up in an environment where I've been made to feel less than as well. And I've been disrespected as well by people as well, just because of being a woman, you know what I mean? And it's just like, that kind of has installed some negative connotations of being a woman. It's just like, okay, why am I being treated like I'm less than men? Or like, why am I being treated in such a way that like...
I'm not gonna lie, in society, as well, obviously not individual men, but as men in general, we fucked up a lot.
Unfortunately,
yeah. Unfortunately, we fucked up a lot.
But there's space to learn and grow from it, as everyone is. And
but I'm not gonna lie to you, I blame it more on Caucasian men though than just men in general, I'll be honest. But a lot of men feed into that bullshit.
Yeah.
And when it comes time to take accountability, we like to kind of like swerve it. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but we're learning, and I promise you, some of us are trying to be better.
Yeah, toxic masculinity is definitely a thing that
100%.
We all face.
100%. 100%.
Everyone faces.
Like you heard a little bit of it at the end of our podcast.
I was like, okay, I'm understanding why, but
we all go through it.
I can't just sit here in silence while you lot just make these dumbass jokes. I need to speak up.
but you did, and to be honest with you, like I like things like that because it opens up a dialogue, right? Yeah. And also as well, most times I never know I'm being ignorant until someone points it out to me, and I understand from their perspective how that could be ignorant.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like that's what I like. I don't shy away from it because I'm a conversationalist type of person.
Yeah.
I'll rather try to understand you than just like try to try to avoid the conversation because I'm feeling uncomfortable or whatever.
I have these conversations a lot with my friends as well because majority of my friends are like cis heterosexual men, right? And like they say some problematic stuff sometimes, or they act in a way which is like disrespectful towards people, and I need to just open up that conversation and be like, you lot need to be a bit more aware of your actions and what you're saying, and that's it.
And I bet sorry, Karen.
No, that's cool. Because like sometimes they're like, what? Nah, Sheiva, like it's not like that. It's not like that. Like what do you mean? And it's like I understand that you might not see it, but from my perspective, like that's the only thing that I can give to you. It's just my perspective, and that's just how it can be perceived. Even though you don't think that you're doing it, I just want you to have some self-awareness, and that's it, really and truly.
Absolutely.
You've got to have these conversations with people, otherwise people won't really know how they're acting or what they're doing. I'm saying that. Absolutely.
And that's what I was gonna say to you. I bet when you have the conversation with them, they just felt like that was just normal. And that's because as men, that's kind of how we're raised up to just believe these things to be normal. You get what I'm saying? But then when we don't have to stay on this for too long, but when it's like on the other side, women are raised to like have certain things be normal that men look at as like the fuck that shouldn't be normal. You get what I'm saying? I feel like that's where the dialogue kind of breaks down, and if we avoid these questions, no one's learning anything.
That's true.
Do you know what I mean? Like we can't keep avoiding the questions. And also as well, like for all anyone out there that might be listening, if you're a guy, girl, whatever, if you've ever like been in a position where you've been disrespectful to someone, that doesn't mean you're a bad person if you didn't know that at the time. It's when you know and you still carry on doing it.
Yeah.
That's what makes you an arsehole, in my opinion, anyways.
Yeah.
So that's why I would like to encourage more people to kind of like open up about what they don't understand. It's okay.
It's okay to not know. I think it shows how intelligent you are when you say, I don't know.
Thank you. I always say that. That's true. I fully believe in that. But yeah. We can unless there's anything else you want to say about it, we can move on.
I'm vibing now, I'm cool.
We can move on. Alright, so drugs. Do we do them?
Oh no! Can I say no comment?
You can. Well, his mom's gonna be watching it, is that right?
I don't know.
Oh.
she thought I was on drugs yesterday.
Oh wow.
Just because I was like in bed resting and sleeping, and I was like, no, mum, I'm not. Like she's never really asked me like if I'm on drugs, but that was like the first time.
That's crazy. Oh
like,
shit, is that my phone? Yeah, it is my phone. It's my other guest. But carry on.
Okay.
I'll leave you in the good hands of Legacy.
Yeah, what was the last question you asked me?
Ask her how much drugs she takes.
Okay, no, you're not leaving me with
and what type of drugs? I'm joking.
You're not leaving me with that.
Oh, right,
so my thing is like the music creation side.
Yeah.
So
literally saved by the bell.
So
I think there's one of the guys.
What is your favorite part of like the creation process?
Oh my god. This cat is actually ruthless.
Oh
like
my days.
No, she owes everything and everyone.
Really
That's it. Favorite part, I guess it's like meeting people.
Meeting
people that make music and love music, or just enjoy it as well. Like, because then that helps me to create. Just having somebody else in the room immediately changes the outcome of what the creative process is gonna look like, and it's always something different. Even when I'm by myself, it's always different, but it's always going to be different to how I would make music with somebody else in the room with me, or when I'm being observed or anything like that. I would definitely change the process in some other sort of way. Sometimes to kind of accommodate this other person, or to kind of use that as an opportunity to experiment more and to delve into other things, basically. Yeah.
So the song you performed for us that was clearly a live band.
Yeah, that was a live band that I recorded on my phone.
Really? On your phone?
I just put it on voice record. I was in like a band rehearsal. We just recorded it.
That's dope. That's fucking sick. Exclusive on Image of God channel. Come on. Let's go. So
we're used to like hip hop artists, so we're used to like going into the studio with a beat and a producer and just rapping. Mm-hmm. Is it different with that style of music where it's like multiple people?
No, it's not. It's not that different. Sometimes it is really just one person and a beat as well. Sometimes, but when you get into having a band and doing like more live instrumentation music, the process gets a little bit more complicated because you're not just having one microphone.
Yeah.
You're having like 5 mics for one drum kit.
Yeah, the drum kit's insane.
And then you got your bass, and then you got the guitar, and then you got the keys, and then you got the, there's a lot more things that you need, like a sound engineer, to kind of be part of the creative process as well, or you become the sound engineer in the creative process as well. And it's just kind of like, it just adds another layer of how you could be creative, basically.
So when it comes to writing in that environment, do you write beforehand, or is it all like on the fly?
I feel like you just go in the studio and just come up with things while you're in there. From what I've heard you say, anyways.
Yeah, I literally freestyle. The majority of my music is like freestyle.
Yeah, different artists have different
ways.
Yeah, different ways. So we didn't talk about the drugs then, I guess. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. At the minute, are you independent, or you signed to a label, or anything like that?
I'm independent.
Independent. So that means like all of your releases and everything that you do is like all on you.
It's all on me, yeah.
That's talk us through some of the trials and tribulations that comes with being an independent artist, especially in the UK, because there isn't too many. I mean, actually, that's not true. There's quite a few, I guess, institutions that help underground artists in the UK, but it's not as much as it is in America. So talk us through some of the shortcomings, I guess. The most difficult thing about being an independent artist in the UK?
The most difficult thing is to do everything by yourself. I would say if you can find people around you that are experts in their craft that maybe you're not, definitely get them to get involved. If, say, for example, you need someone to create cover art, instead of doing it all yourself. I mean, I do my own cover art as well sometimes, don't get me wrong, but if you can find someone that actually lives and breathes that, you know what I mean, get them involved. If you are able to find someone that lives and breathes filming and photography, get them involved.
But some people might be like, because if you find that person, they might want to get paid, and underground artists don't really make too much money. How do you circumvent stuff like that?
Then you do have to do it yourself.
Fair enough. Or just maybe have friends that do that.
I mean, even if you don't have friends, I would say to any extent, if you are able to do it yourself, do it. If you do feel like you might need to call up on even your family member or your friends or your close people to hold that camera for you, it doesn't have to be professional. You literally are able to do it.
Yeah.
And you only get better by starting, right?
Yeah.
So I started off with literally me and my best friend from like day one. We've been best friends since year 7.
That's dope.
His name is Georgie Milton. And we have literally just been like best friends since day. And there was a time where I was like, yo, I'm about to put out this song. It's going to be amazing, and I would love for you to film it. He was like, bet. Him and my mate Ben, they both were filming it and directing it, and they made the whole music video just by themselves, and I was able to put it out. And that was like the beginning of me being like, this is actually something that I can do.
As a career. Sure.
It would have been harder to do it all by myself, but I do have music videos prior to that. The one that I'm talking about is Space Jam.
Okay.
But I do have...
That's a dope song, by the way.
It is. I love that song.
Same.
I have made music videos prior to that with my mate, Mikhail, who made these tracks as well. We also have been making music together quite a bit. And it was literally just a thing of getting our phone, putting it up there, and just standing in front of the camera and just...
That's true. It doesn't have to be the red cam. 10,000 pounds production.
No, I've seen music videos done on like VHS cameras or phones or you know, just like basic stuff. Like the fact that you're able to make it within your means, that's you being creative. That's
absolutely
you taking it to another level entirely.
Absolutely, I completely agree with that. Even though I still want the money, don't get me wrong, for all the businesses out there, because companies be watching shit like that and be like, but we saw you in that episode and you said you didn't really care about the money. No, we want the bag. But I completely agree with you. Your creativity heightens once you're limited. 100%, because you got to find a way around it.
You got to.
You have to find a way around it.
I love problem solving, personally.
Me too. That's dope. So have you kind of like delved into like the business side of things in terms of music?
Very recently, I started to get a bit more organized.
That's dope.
I've started to build a team around me of people that really believe in my vision. And
that's very important, by the way. The belief in the vision is very important.
They believe in my vision. I mean, because I've been believing in myself this whole entire time by myself on my ones. Yes, I have my friends around me, and like we all believe in each other as well. But people don't start believing in you until they see that you're believing in yourself. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, having said that, I have a manager now. I have an A&R manager. I have a PR manager. I have...
Oh, that's dope. You got a PR manager as well. That's fucking sick. Okay.
Tanai, she's amazing.
Shout out to you.
Shout out to Tanai. Sick. Shout out to Talia, being my manager. Ricole as well. She's been very, very helpful in terms of guiding me in like the creative process as well, and just kind of getting it a little bit more fine-tuned, because I'm a very chaotic person, right? And just as any artist, it's very hard to kind of bring all of your art into something that's a product that you could sell in a market, in business. Because at the end of the day, I live in a capitalist city and I see it around me a lot, and I can't think about that. I've tried to, but I really can't. So if I'm able to give someone the opportunity to be like, yo, I make music. Can I just make music, and can you please
just focus on
make the process make sense? You know what I mean? And so they've really helped me in like organizing and like scheduling things and things like that. Just stuff that I find difficult because I've got like some sort of like ADHD, neurodivergency kind of going on up here.
I understand.
So yeah, I definitely need that pressure from other people.
That's dope. That's what I was going to ask you next about your team, but you already pretty much said it. Like that's dope that you kind of like have the foresight to be like, because some people always wait till like one of their songs goes massively viral before they decide to like find
help
people
out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's dope that you have people around you that you're able to trust enough, because that's another thing as well. You have to be able to trust them to be like, these people aren't going to fuck me over when it comes down to it. And also people that are actually knowledgeable enough to actually help you out.
Yeah.
Like for example, you got a PR manager. That's very important. A lot of underground artists don't understand how important that is. That's very, very important. Might even be more important than your actual manager.
Yeah.
Because how you're perceived in the music industry is everything. That's it. Like your music could be fucking dope if the consumers perceive you a certain way that they don't like. No one's gonna, well, not no one, but most of them aren't gonna listen. So if they're not even gonna give you the chance, sort of thing. So that's dope, and I like to hear that. I've been through a lot of your. First of all, actually, before we get to the next question, Give me your top 5 creative influences.
As in artists or
anything?
What do you mean creative influences?
Anything. Like it could be whatever. It could be like a mix of everything. Like it could be someone that's a director, someone that's a musician, whatever you want.
Okay, cool.
Whatever you want.
Rumi is one of my favorite Iranian poets. So is Khayyam. They're both Iranian poets.
Okay.
I would also say Sevdaliza. She's an amazing producer, songwriter, singer. She's also Iranian. A lot of creative influences that have really.
You got 3. You just got 2 more to go.
I've got 2 more to go. Yeah. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it my dad. My dad's a poet as well.
That's dope. I like that.
He's sick.
Shout out to Pops.
Shout out Pops. And I would also say my surroundings.
Okay.
My surroundings have a massive influence on my creativity, like in terms of where I go, where I live, who I'm around, just my surroundings really and truly, and just kind of like having that energy to put myself in those.
That's dope. Places. That's a very, very unique answer. I've never gotten one like that before, which is very, very interesting to me. I want to ask you if you've ever been heartbroken before, but I feel like that's gonna like start another whole conversation. Have you ever been heartbroken before?
Yeah.
Do you wanna share with us or?
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was difficult because I had to do a lot of growing. You know what I mean? Like heartbreak isn't anything that anyone wants to go through. You know what I mean?
Absolutely not. But I feel like everyone should go through it at least once.
Yeah, it makes you grow up.
100%. And it gives you a good perspective on life.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us before, well, I can only speak for myself. For me, before I went through that situation, I always used to think I was the shit, I'll be honest. I used to think I was the shit, and I was the one doing it to other people. And like, once the karma came back around, I just had to stop that completely. Because you don't really understand the pain you're causing other people until you go through it yourself.
Yeah.
Then I was like, some of them I spoke to after and I actually apologized. Oh. Yeah, because like once I went through it myself, I was like, oh shit, I was being a fucking dick. You know, you don't really understand it. But about your heartbreak, what did that teach you? Like, going through that experience, what did you come out of it learning? Does that make sense?
I think one of the main things. 2 main things. One is to learn how to let go, because I'm very like determined. I'm a very persistent person. Yeah. Like I'm like fight it till the end. You know what I mean? Like I won't give up till I die. Like, you know what I mean? I got that mentality, but I had to learn how to let go, and also to not take things personally. Because
that's a difficult one for me. I'll be honest.
Yeah, it's difficult because like someone could break up with you for. Yeah, it could be reasons that like maybe you're not doing certain things, or maybe you're not compatible, or maybe or whatever. But you also got to think that they might also be wanting to grow as well. They might also be wanting to kind of take a step back from this and like just for their own personal reasons.
It might not be about you.
It might
exactly.
So and it's like to kind of like have the mindset of to not take it too personally. That would save you a lot of hassle in terms of like bringing yourself down or being really hard on yourself and shit like that, right? Because it's a difficult process, and you 100% start thinking a lot of negative things about yourself, and you just gotta kind of like learn a way to not take it so personally.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I ever listened to as much Lionel Richie songs.
Oh no.
Lionel was my guy, and who else? Otis as well. Otis Redding. Oh my god, them niggas, they got me through some shit.
Trust me,
some
man.
shit. What's a good breakup song for you? Everyone has it.
I'm not gonna lie. I listen to my own music a lot more than I listen to other people's music.
Okay,
But if I were to say, I would say one of my first breakups when I was like a teenager or something, I was listening to Foster the People.
Okay.
Which is like this like indie kind of band. So yeah.
And they got a lot of nice breakup songs.
Not even. It's just
But they got like sad songs.
One of their songs is like, all the other kids with the pumped up kicks.
Oh shit! Damn.
It's not even breakup
at
song.
all. That's some happy shit.
Yeah.
But still, though, you know.
It's very interesting to view happy music from like a sad perspective.
Absolutely.
It's also really interesting to make happy music from a sad
perspective. Absolutely.
And also make sad music from a happy perspective.
That's why I love Kendrick Lamar so much. Because his music, the content is so fucking sad.
I have a TikTok to show you.
Go on. The music is so fucking... The content is so fucking sad, but the shit sounds so lit. Like, I don't know how he does it, but you know, he does it. He does it. Have you found the TikTok? Should I move on to the next question?
Yeah, keep going now.
Okay, cool. So obviously I've done my research and like listened to quite a lot of your songs, but I've noticed that you don't have like a full-on project out, unless if I missed it. But I don't think I did because I was on Spotify. Okay, good.
I don't have a full-on project out. The only thing that's close to a project is Kept Normal.
Yeah, you had an EP. But that was only like two
songs,
exactly.
really and truly.
I wouldn't count that as a project.
No, not even. That was basically a single, if anything. But I do have an EP coming up.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you.
I have been working on, and some of the songs are actually mixed in 360 degrees. So it's like immersive audio.
Oh, wow. That's dope.
Yeah.
When's that coming out?
I could give you a rough estimate.
Yeah, estimate.
I would say April.
Okay. April. The name of it?
I couldn't
You don't have
tell
it around. Okay, cool.
No, I haven't gone that far yet.
Alright, Project April. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
But more recently, I've released a song called Calm Before Storm, and I'm actually releasing the music video very, very soon. Like within a month or so.
Calm Before Storm. I can vouch that that's a very good song. I've heard it multiple times.
Yeah.
Very, very good song. That's one of the songs where it's like where I get the sense of airiness in the beat a lot. Like, yeah, it's really dope. And I guess my last question, what does success mean to you?
Enjoyment.
Simply put, that's actually very simple. You didn't have to think too much about that.
No.
That's dope. That's dope. I wish more people like had the same mentality as you, sort of thing.
It's difficult.
A lot of people complicate things, a lot of times.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. I have my moments of complicated things as well.
Yeah, I mean we all do, but there's certain things that are like just simple that don't need to be complicated. That people just complicate it just for the, just cause.
When people are like, "Why do you make music?" and then they're like, "Oh, because I'm trying to find the meanings of the universe," and it's just like,
bro.
Because it's fun, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Exactly. Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? And that's probably why they do it, but they want to sound like so sophisticated and different from other people and all of that.
Which is fair enough. Do that as well. That's part of your art and your persona, if so. But just be honest with yourself as well,
True, fair enough. But I mean, there's a difference between. Okay, we're not even gonna get into that. But
yeah,
some people are pretentious with it. Let's just put it that way.
But you can see that from a mile away, I guess.
That's true. So, yeah. Absolutely true. But I guess we're at the end of the interview now, so I want to say thank you for coming through.
Thank you, and thank you as well. I appreciate you guys.
We appreciate you.
Such great conversations, great questions. It was so good.
Thank you.
You lot make good stuff.
Thank you.
Lit
I'm
stuff.
about to cry now, man. Don't look at me.
Don't
look at me, man. Don't look at me. No, I really do appreciate that. All jokes aside, I really do appreciate it when, like I said earlier, when people like literally, I wouldn't say give me my flowers, but appreciate, the thing that we got going on here. And of course, we know we're gonna grow. We're gonna be here for a long time, because the reason why I appreciate a lot is because I see a lot more of the other side of the negativity of the people trying to bring it down, as opposed to the people bigging it up. So once we have someone like you come through and you actually say that, it means a lot to me. Like, I'll be honest, it means a lot to me. But just drop the socials for the people them.
Right. Catch me on Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Music.
All Sheiva.
Sheiva, Sheiva. And Instagram is Sheiva's on Fire, which is Sheiva.
On fire.
Sheiva's on Fire.
Yeah. And that was a fucking dope interview. I really enjoyed it.
That was so fun. We literally started off with me just going insane.
I think that's how we're gonna start off every interview now.
Yeah.
Do the performance first.
Yeah.
By the way, yours is the first one
of the year.
first one of the year and first one with the performance.
Come on,
with the performance element, because you know we're always trying to like.
No, that's so fun because like people want to get engrossed, you know what I mean?
Straight away, exactly,
you know,
and then
they're like, okay, cool.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And if they don't fuck with it, then they just skip next artist. You know what I mean? Like. You gotta give people
because at least they get a taste of what they're about to like, who they're about to get to know.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're like, oh shit, they make good music. Let's listen to their life.
Yeah.
So that's dope. So I mean, we're breaking boundaries over here.
No,
guys.
that's sick. Keep pushing it.
That's amazing. I guess the last thing I would say for you to do is like, for all of these people that are out there that like fuck with your music, might be watching this right now. What's the one mission statement you want to put out there for them? You know. To kind of just leave them with before we get out of here.
I'll say keep going, and no matter what you may come across, no matter what problems you may face, just understand that your feelings at that time are temporary, and you would be able to find a way through it eventually. And
absolutely.
Inshallah, it's not the end of the world. And I really do wish everyone the best of luck, because staying alive in this economy, man.
It's difficult, bro.
Cost of living, that
crazy.
I hear it. So.
And again, pay the TFL guys, bro. Nah. I'm not gonna lie. I'm mad about that. Pay them. They deserve to get paid as well. That's the thing. But instead, they're just gonna replace them with driverless trains.
Who are you telling to pay them?
The government.
The government.
Yeah.
Not people that are bumping trains and buses. Not them.
Well, those people are clearly poor, so they can't pay anyone.
I was about to say, like,
they can't pay anyone. So,
if but the thing is, the government, fair enough.
Yeah, but no, I'm not talking about the people that are bumping trains. I actually support those people. Bump trains because most of that money is going to the fucking CEO of TFL. Not to make TFL better, because TFL has been the same for the last 10 years. You know what I'm saying? So, but the government pay the TFL train drivers. Today, anyways, you know what? We're never gonna get into that. Thank you for coming through. And Black English hereby approves such messages. Bye-bye. Bye.